To call the meeting to order, to start with the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First up, we're looking for approval of the minutes from last meeting.
I'll make a motion.
And a second. Okay, have a first and second. Any discussion? Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, next we're moving to resolutions. First resolution is a resolution in opposition to Senate Bill S-7855 as it relates to the membership of the Board of Directors of the Western Regional Off-Track Betting Corporation, where they want to, get rid of us, some of our member that only for our county, and they want to give us, have a member from the state, I believe, that's going to take care of 3 counties.
Basically, we have less representation.
Right.
Right. You want to lose the representation?
No, we don't want that at all. So this is in opposition of it. So any discussion on it?
I would make a motion.
Okay. For this
I'll
purpose,
second that.
have a first and second. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next up, we have a resolution authorizing the budget modification Board of Elections electronic poll books. Where it's going to cost us a total of $97,447. And this was in response to, because they have to check the votes every 4 days, right?
Yes. The absentee votes.
Absentee votes. And
They
so
have
it's
to be
reported back
recorded.
to the regular polls so people can't vote twice.
And this was in response to that law that just passed.
Yes, yes.
Any discussion on that? Not? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have a resolution fixing time and place for a public hearing relative to the proposed County of Oswego Local Law Number 1 of 2022, entitled the Local Law Providing for the Partial Tax Exemption of Certain Real Property Owned by Persons 65 years or over. There's a list of all the exemption percentages with how much money people make in your family.
Was there any change to requirements this year compared to the past? You're aware? Not that I'm aware. I think all we're doing is updating the threshold and from when this originally was passed in 1999.
Yeah, it's been increased over the years because it's originally from the 60s, and they just increased the income over the years. Last time it was done, this was in 1999, and that current threshold is pretty low.
All right. So, looking for.
I had a quick question about it, if you don't mind. I was just wondering if anyone's looked at how this is going to affect the income that we take in for taxes. So how will the numbers change because more people will be getting it? Because the income is being, raised, right?
Mm-hmm.
So more people will be eligible.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious if anyone's looked at the numbers as to how that will affect.
I think in our pamphlet it said it would go up like 2 cents per thousand or something, isn't it?
That's what I calculated it at. Yeah,
Right.
that
2 cents?
yeah. Right now it's like 24, almost 25 million of exempt value on our current assessment rolls for the county. Goes up to about 41 million, which would change the generic tax rate from 695 to 697.
But still under 7. Okay,
Yeah.
that was my question.
And
That's assuming everybody who's
Uses
eligible
it,
takes
yeah.
it.
yeah, that's assuming because at the
The baby boomer generation.
I put in there that there was a potential 2,000 something.
2,700.
2,700.
Yeah.
That was from a state report based on adjusted gross income, that there's that many seniors in our county that have an AGI below the 37,400. But the senior exemption doesn't use AGI for its income. It's all sources of income. So it doesn't account for any of those adjustments that you would do on your taxes. So it's going to be less than 2,700 people. I just have no idea how many less it would be.
Okay.
Rich,
And then the towns will need to make some changes. There are many towns that are not near where we are after this passes as well. So
right.
I think Corey did a nice chart on that.
Yeah, I did the chart on all the towns and what they're currently at, and there's some that are extremely low.
Mhm.
This wouldn't take effect this year, though, right? This would be
No.
next year's tax roll?
It would be 2023's assessment rolls, so 2024's county tax roll. So plenty of time to prepare and get the word out, that sort of thing.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I make a motion to pass this resolution on to the legislature.
Okay.
Sure,
We have a
second.
First and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, next up, we have a resolution fixing a time and place for a public hearing relative to proposed County of Oswego local law number 2 of 2022, granting a partial tax exemption for qualifying persons with disabilities under the real property tax law. And it is S 459C. Do you have anything you want to speak on that, or basically the same?
It's the same thing, because this one just mimicked the same income scale as the senior exemption when it was passed in 2003 or whenever that was passed, so.
Okay.
Should probably keep the same income scale for uniformity, I guess.
All right, and then those again have to be passed through by the towns too that are on the list, right?
Yeah, so both of these, the change only affects county taxes, so the towns would then need to, and there's actually very few towns that offer this exemption at all, the disability one.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this being passed would give them an idea that they should pass it for the towns as well.
I'll make the motion.
All right, have a first,
Second.
first and a second. Any other discussion? Not, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? No? All right. Well, we were gonna have a weight and measures report, but he's not gonna be able to make it today.
Yes, Jamie won't be here. He would be here in about 20 minutes, but by the time he would get here, it would be in a rush. So we plan to postpone it until
Next
April.
Okay. All right. Rich, you wanna,
I'd request an executive session to discuss pending litigation regarding the child victims cases against the county of Oswego.
okay. So you need a motion to go into executive.
Well, prior to that, does anybody else for excuse people?
Oh.
Everybody wants to.
Came to see your lovely faces.
Because we can.
All right, we're looking for a motion as we go to executive session. And a second. First and second.